Welcome to our last episode of Poly Live.
It has been a great season. Thank you so much for tuning in all the time.
And I can't believe that we are going to see all of our incoming students in 2 weeks.
Yeah, in 2 weeks we'll have WOW. Chances are we could be your WOW leaders. Look forward to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun things planned for you. But first, before we get going today with our first guests, we do live in California. Earthquakes happen, am I right? Am I right? So Napa, where I'm from, just hit by an earthquake last week. So to help get you prepared, we have a little video that we made advertising the Great California Shakeout.
Yeah, what some earthquake preparedness awareness. Yeah, so enjoy.
Major earthquakes can happen at any time. The thing that we would like people to remember is drop, cover, hold on. If you feel an earthquake started, you have seconds to do something. First thing you want to do is drop, cover underneath something, and hang on. And the reason you're holding on is because tables bounce up and down, chairs move, things of that nature. Cal Poly is preparing for the Great Shakeout on October 16th at 10:16 a.m. in the morning. So that's 10:16 at 10:16, and that's an opportunity for people to practice this drop, cover, and hold on routine. In an emergency situation, you don't want to have to think about what to do, you want to react properly. So the goal for all this practicing is to make sure that a disaster doesn't become a catastrophe.
So I hope you feel very prepared now. Earthquake preparedness awareness.
Duck and cover, and hold on.
And hold on. Very good. He knows the 3 steps. So today we are talking to the coordinator of Fraternity and Sorority Life, Kathryn O'Hagan, as well as Audrey, who is the PanHellenic Vice President of Recruitment. So Greek life here on campus is a huge thing. It's a great way to get involved, and we wanted to bring you a little more information about that with them. So ladies, would you mind introducing yourselves for us?
I'm Kathryn O'Hagan, coordinator at Fraternity and Sorority Life here at Cal Poly. And I'm Audrey. I am the Vice President of Recruitment on PanHellenic.
All right, so Greek life is huge here. So what are some of the different types of Greek organizations here at Cal Poly?
We have
different councils here at Cal Poly. Our Interfraternity Council has 18 fraternities who are nationally affiliated with our National Interfraternal Conference. Our 9 PanHellenic sororities are affiliated with the National PanHellenic Conference, and our United Sorority and Fraternity Council comprises 9 of our cultural fraternities and sororities.
Wow, so that's a lot of different types. Can you explain the difference between a cultural versus a professional versus a social? I know there's lots of different types.
The chapters within Fraternity and Sorority Life in the Dean of Students Office, which is who I coordinate, we deal with social fraternities and sororities. So there are organizations that are professional groups or honors societies that use Greek letters. It's not the same thing. There are great ways to get involved as well, but that social fraternity and sorority, which we work with, are going to be lifetime membership. It's about brotherhood and sisterhood, leadership, service, philanthropy, all of those great values that really make up a social fraternity and sorority.
Okay, so what are, oh, it's a spider. Don't look at that. So what are, that's so freaky. Okay, what are some benefits of joining a fraternity or sorority? There's a spider right there.
Some of the benefits of joining a fraternity or sorority is that you really get involved in campus life and involved with other people throughout the Cal Poly campus that you wouldn't necessarily be involved with otherwise. So people across different majors and across different grades and all of that stuff. So it really just helps get involved, and I like to say it makes a big place feel a little bit smaller. Oh, that's awesome. Well, we already have a viewer question. We knew this was going to be a popular subject. So Caroline
asks, what if I need to miss parts of PanHellenic recruitment due to classes? How is this going to affect my recruitment?
Caroline, I am glad you asked. So right now I'm working on making a conflict form for all of y'all to fill out. It's not quite ready yet. Hopefully it will be by tomorrow. So you will be excused from those events that you do have to miss. So keep an eye out for that conflict form.
It's important to remember if you're missing recruitment for events, it should be Cal Poly approved events like class. If you just don't want to go to something, that's not really how recruitment works. So you just have to let Audrey know. She'll let you know the process, and we'll let the chapters know that you will be missing because of class. Right.
And so Audrey, so what is your favorite part about being in a sorority?
Wow, there are so many different parts, but one of my favorite parts is that I've met so many amazing people that I probably wouldn't have had the opportunity to meet otherwise. And, you know, it provides sisterhood. It provides a home away from home. Yeah, it provides a lot of opportunities to get involved. I mean, I wouldn't be in this position without my sorority.
That's awesome. Well, we have another viewer question. Nicole9 asks, for a PanHellenic sorority, how much in a total quarter should I expect to pay my first year? I know it's dependent on the sorority, but an estimate would be great.
That's great. So in your first year, you will have new member dues, which is for, I believe, your first quarter. So those are quite a bit higher for our chapters than regular member dues. So new member dues are in the $600 to $700, maybe even $800 range, but that's only for your first quarter. And then they go down to about $300 to $450 range quarterly.
And dues can cover costs from chapter events to some cover extra things like t-shirts. It also covers programming. Your new member fees that are a part of those first quarter increase in the cost is going to cover you getting into that sorority system. So your new member education program, a lot of them cover your badge or different things like that that are really just about being a new member.
Awesome. So we have another viewer question from T29. Hi there. So when exactly is recruitment, and then how does it kind of work?
So sorority recruitment is going to start the first week of school. Orientation will be that Tuesday night at 7:30. And then the first round of events starts on Thursday night. So basically the way that it works is you go through, and the first round is house tours. So you meet all of the houses, and this is over a span of 2 days. So you'll meet all of the houses, and then from there you kind of narrow it down. And so it's a mutual selection process. So you vote and the houses vote, and it just kind of whittle your way to the end a little bit. So yeah, and then it ends with preference night is Monday night, and then bid night, which is the most exciting night, is on Tuesday night.
And how does the formal process of recruitment for sororities differ from the slightly more informal process for fraternities? Can you answer that?
Right, yeah. So the formal process, you meet all of the houses. It's structured. You have a recruitment counselor. You're with a lot of other potential new members. Whereas informal recruitment, not all of the sororities participate. So we can never really know who's going to be doing spring or winter recruitment. And that's very informal. You're invited by the houses, or you can reach out to myself, and I will put you in contact with the houses to go to their informal events.
Awesome. Oh, sorry, go on.
Our Interfraternity Council and United Sorority Fraternity Council do a different process, which is more informal than the sorority recruitment process. They're each going to have their opening meet and greet, so you can meet all the chapters, get to know them. And then they're going to have individualized schedules that they will let you know, like, we're doing an event here, and it supports this philanthropy or this service project. All of that's advertised within the councils, and they let you know what's going on and who's doing what.
So we are loaded with viewer questions right now. So we'll go right now to Tom B. I'll stay with that. So what's up, Tom? How do Cal Poly fraternities compare to the stereotypical fraternities? Whatever that means.
I think that if one's thinking about Cal Poly students compared to students at other institutions, our students at Cal Poly are highly academic. They are very focused on classwork, and they're here to get a degree and be successful on campus. And I think that that's really indicative of our fraternities. They work really hard, and they know that being a fraternity is a great way to network, meet other people, and be involved and be successful. That's not to say that they don't go out and have fun and could be stereotypical, but I think that you'll find that Cal Poly students aren't necessarily stereotypical as well.
Yeah, I think that's a really good answer. Really answers it. So another viewer question: how much do different houses differ in price? Are popular houses more expensive?
No. Popular house. There's really no such thing as a popular house. Every house is different. So I mean, I guess you could have the popular house, but it doesn't go up in price just because a house is more liked on campus. So the prices do vary, but it's purely national, based on what the national organization is. It's not due to a popularity thing at all.
All right, so let's go to what is the time commitment of being in a fraternity or sorority?
Well, it varies again. There are certain mandatory events like a chapter meeting weekly. So on a slow week, it could be 2 hours a week, and then on a week where there are a lot of events, you could be spending 10 hours a week. It all just kind of depends. And, you know, it is a voluntary organization, so you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. But if you don't want to go to the events, then why are you in the organization? There are a lot of things on campus that students can be involved in. Fraternity and sorority life is a commitment because it's also a lifetime commitment to be involved in a fraternity and sorority. So it is going to be a few hours a week depending on the week and depending on the quarter. And also depending on your position. If you're really looking for a leadership position, if you're chapter president, you're spending a lot more time than a person on the community service committee. It's going to be different.
I have friends in sororities, and they all say it is what you make of it. You know, you can really choose to put yourself out there and to be really involved. So how many students on campus are involved in some sort of Greek organization?
We have about 3,000 students on campus who are affiliated with our social fraternities and sororities. It's a lot.
A lot of people.
A lot of people.
All right. What's up, Aubrey? So Aubrey asks, what if I bid and I decide that it is not what I want, assuming the sorority she makes it into, how easy is it to drop out in the beginning?
In the beginning is a lot easier than once you become initiated. If it is something that, I'm trying to think of how. So in the beginning, it's a lot easier. That's something where it varies chapter by chapter, and you would just go to whoever your new member educator is and explain to her why you no longer wanted to be a part of the organization. But once you're initiated, it's a lot harder because you have to give things back, and you know you're no longer a member. Whereas if you're not initiated, it's a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm. And Amanda, you asked, how easy is it to get a bid from PanHellenic? I know that some schools are very selective and only want a certain type of person.
We have requirements for membership, but we don't find that there's a lot of women who aren't placed during formal recruitment. It is a very structured process that is supposed to ensure that women are both placed and placed in their top house. That doesn't always happen, but our percentages are really good. Last year, they were definitely in the high 90s of women who were placed going through recruitment into a house. That's what we want. We want women to be successful, and we want them to find their home.
Thank you. So we might have already touched on the costs, just to kind of recap that again. Is there like a membership cost for being in a fraternity or a sorority? And then Nicolette was wondering if there's a chart anywhere that lists any prices, if there are.
There is a cost. The dues are going to vary chapter to chapter. Some of our USFC chapters that aren't nationally affiliated could have dues around $100 to $300 a quarter. Our fraternities range from about 4 to 6, the new member quarter, and then less again, probably about $250 to $4 for subsequent quarters. And then, like Audrey said earlier, it's going to be higher for PanHellenic sororities that first quarter, 6 to 7, and then last $300 to $400 the rest of the quarters. What was the rest?
Is there like a chart anywhere?
Each council is going to have that financial information for the chapters before and during recruitment. It's a big part of being involved in an organization is financial responsibility. Knowing what you're paying for and how much you're paying is really important. So we both encourage our chapters to tell the potential members what they're going to pay, and I kind of also require it. So if they're not letting you know, you just let me know, and I'll let you know.
Thank you.
And Beth asks if she's allowed to decline a bid.
Want to answer?
Yes, you are allowed to decline a bid. However, when you are making your final selections, you sign a form called the Membership Acceptance Binding Agreement. And so basically that means that if you were to receive a bid from the houses that you listed on that agreement, that you would accept it. And then if you choose not to accept it, then you cannot go through any recruitment for an entire year. So that would include formal recruitment or informal recruitment as well. So you would have to wait a full calendar year before going through recruitment again.
The very few number of women who aren't placed during recruitment, the highest percentage of those are women who only place one chapter on that agreement that Audrey was talking about when they have two options, meaning they didn't have a second option that we could put them in. So you're much more likely to be in a sorority if you have two options, putting those two as accepting a bid from them.
Oh, that's some really good advice, I think.
Yeah. Another viewer question from Elise. When is the last day to sign up for recruitment, and could we also sign up during WOW, so the week?
Absolutely. The last day to sign up during recruitment is Wednesday, the 24th at noon. So feel free to sign up. We would love it. And yeah, Wednesday the 24th at noon is the deadline.
The link's up now. You can sign up. It's been up since May. We have a really great number of women already registered. So go on and do that. So if you have any questions, you can ask us early.
Absolutely.
Great. And can you touch on the philanthropic and academic parts of fraternity and sorority life? I know we have lots of amazing philanthropic kind of events that go on throughout the year. And if you could kind of talk about some of those.
So every fraternity and sorority supports a philanthropy, whether that's, kids with reading, there's arthritis, it's cardiac health, all that stuff. So we all support philanthropies, and we put on events to raise money for these philanthropies every year. So some of them are like, there's a sorority who does, they make burritos at their house and they sell them for the homecoming football game. There's a sorority who does a beauty pageant for fraternity guys called Mr. Fraternity, and that's really fun. And then fraternities do their own things. They do dodgeball and baseball and all these things just to try to raise awareness and raise funds for these philanthropies. And scholarship, we have study binders in the library, and so some sororities give points for the women who go based on the amount of hours that they do. And what do the fraternities do?
We have scholarship chairs in all of our councils who keep up with the chapters on their cumulative GPA as well as individual members. If they are needing help leading a student into academic success, our scholarship chairs are really great at connecting with that chapter to provide resources, connect them with other individuals on campus or off if they have individuals or are struggling as a chapter. Again, our students here on campus are so academically focused. I find that our chapters very much are as well, so academics are really important.
Yeah, they are.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
I guess we have another viewer question from Ethan. Ethan asks, do people that are planning on rushing IFC fraternities have to sign up, or do you just show up to rush events or recruitment events?
There is a sign up. It's not up yet. Our fraternities don't recruit until the third week of classes. We give them in a little bit more opportunity because there's 18 chapters to get to know individuals in these organizations before they go through fraternity recruitment. But there will be an online registration, a much simpler one than sorority recruitment, and that will likely be out around the first week of classes.
Awesome. So different, fraternity versus sorority versus the cultural, they all have kind of different processes, different dates. Okay.
Exactly.
And Shanna asked, do all members live in houses, and how is that decided, and how much more is it to live in the houses, like estimated?
Members do have the opportunity to live in houses. The whole chapter, our houses are not that big here, so the whole chapter cannot live in the house, unfortunately. So it's all on a national basis as far as the cost to live in and stuff. Some chapters, it's cheaper. Your dues go down when you live in. Some, I don't know if they go up. So it just all depends. But living on your chapter's property is so much fun. I've done it. It's awesome. It's such a fun experience.
Awesome, thank you. Another viewer question from Lindsay with 2 Ys. How many PanHellenic sororities do winter recruitment, and is it hard to get into one during that time? Lindsay asked if any sororities do any winter recruitment, and is it hard to get in during that time?
So winter is informal, so we don't really know right now who's going to be doing winter recruitment. We probably won't know until the end of fall quarter. So I mean, it varies. Sometimes we could have as many as 5. Sometimes we could only have 1 or 2. So it just varies.
And Kristen, who clearly has been doing her research, she has a very specific question. She asks, what time and how long is orientation on Tuesday, the 23rd?
Orientation, the doors open at 7 and the program will start at 7:30. And I'm still working on the program, but expect to be there around 2 hours.
Wow.
Awesome.
Great question, Kristen.
Yeah, seriously, that's a good question. So where and when should students sign up for recruitment?
For sorority recruitment?
Yes.
Okay, so you can sign up for sorority recruitment on our website. It's at the Dean of Students page. And then there's like a little column, and just click on Fraternity and Sorority Life and then go to PanHellenic. And there's a big button that says, it's like pink and blue, and it says register for 2014 formal recruitment. So
if you like the PanHellenic webpage on Facebook, which is not the right way to say that, but you know what I'm saying, then they'll have the link on that as well.
Yeah. Great. And if they have any questions about fraternity and sorority life, who is the best contact? That's you.
Fraternities and USFC, please feel free to ask me. I advise them specifically. And Audrey, as VP of Recruitment, is a great resource for PanHellenic. And we also have another coordinator of Fraternity and Sorority Life, Travis Roberts. He advises PanHellenic specifically as well. Yeah.
Thank you. Another viewer question from Katie. She asks if our application for PanHellenic sororities is shown to the actual sororities.
No.
No.
It is not. They just have access to your name and your GPA.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We have one final question for you. It is a question that we ask all of our guests here. So if you had 24 hours left in San Luis Obispo, what would you do with them?
Tri-tip challenge.
What? Okay, explain that again.
The tri-tip challenge, so it's when you hike Bishop's, Madonna, into the P. And then I think you eat a tri-tip sandwich after, but I don't really like tri-tip, so I know. So I might eat half a sandwich and give the rest to my boyfriend.
Sounds good.
So slow specifically?
Yes.
Oh gosh, I'm new to slow, so.
You could probably be in like Los Osos.
Yeah, if you want to do the county, you can do the county.
Well, I'm new to the area in general, so I try to hit the spots that I haven't hit yet. So definitely be on the beach for a little while, hike Bishop's, because I still haven't done that. I've been here for like 9 months. I know it's bad. And I would eat at Firestone and relax and see the sunset before I head out.
You can have the other half of my sandwich.
No, thank you.
do all the classics, do all the ones you have to hit.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. I know that you helped a lot of people out there who had questions. So
You truly are a wealth of information. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and just remember, you can sign up for formal recruitment if you're looking to join a PanHellenic sorority on their website. And next, we have a pretty cool video from our friend Sam, his final Sam's Corner. And he's giving some advice on roommate conflict with his actual roommates. So check that out.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final episode of Sam's Corner. as you know, move-in day is just around the corner, Sam's Corner. So today I'm going to present to you roommate conflict do's and don'ts. And what better people to do this with than my very own roommates. So let's get to it.
Oh, this is good. Hey, that was mine. Hey man, I got class in like 10 minutes. Can I get a snack?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, for sure, I'll get you back later. Sounds good. Hey man, can I borrow your hole punch?
Yeah, I'm almost done with it.
Cool, thank you.
No problem.
He's so messy! Ugh. Yo man, your shoe's on my desk. You can grab that?
Yeah, hold on, get it real quick.
I love toast.
Is that a toaster?
Yeah.
You can't have those. I'm gonna tell the RA. RA!
I love toast.
Hey man, is that a toaster?
Yeah.
Hey, you're not supposed to have those in the room, but there's a toaster in the kitchen that you can use.
Oh, cool.
Wow, this is one conflict-free room. Someone somewhere once said that all good things must come to an end, including Sam's Corner. It has been my pleasure providing you with unmatched insight into some of the greatest things that Cal Poly has to offer. So until next time, I'm out.
Great job, Sam. That was definitely hilarious. I think they solved a lot of tough conflicts there. So awesome job.
Great people there. So earlier today, we had the pleasure of interviewing our Vice President for Student Affairs, Dr. Keith Humphrey.
But he likes to go by Keith.
Yeah, so we got to hang out with Keith. So we're going to send you out to our sassy field reporters.
In the field.
Who are, interviewing Keith. So
ourselves.
Check it out. Thanks, Liz and John.
And we're sitting here with Dr. Keith Humphrey, the Vice President for Student Affairs here at Cal Poly. Keith, could you please tell us about your role and experience in student affairs?
Sure. Well, thanks, Liz and John, for the opportunity to be on Poly Live. Welcome to all our new students and parents. We're really looking forward to you being on campus in a few weeks. I go by Keith, not Dr. Humphrey. I encourage everybody to call me Keith. My role on campus is really to oversee all of the awesome things that happen outside the classroom. Everybody in student affairs works to make sure the quality of everything that goes on outside of class matches the quality of what goes on inside the classroom. I got my start in this work when I was a sophomore in college, being an RA in the residence halls, and grew up in residence life and housing, and did some orientation work, and absolutely love what I do. I think I have the best job on campus.
All right, so Keith, could you share a little bit more about what Student Affairs does here for students on campus?
Sure. Student Affairs to Cal Poly students means a lot of different things. It's orientation, it's SOAR and WOW are some awesome things that we do. We are responsible for housing, career services, the Center for Leadership and Service. We work with ASI and our student leaders to partner on making sure student experience is great. Student academic services, just about everything, clubs, organizations that you can think of that goes on outside the classroom. Student Affairs touches and oversees and works for students.
Wow, that sounds like basically everyone that we've had on as a guest this season.
They're awesome folks.
Yeah. So we know that you're a parent. You have two adorable little boys. What advice can you give to parents to support their student success?
Well, now I have two little kids, and they are 6 and 8. And so I should actually be taking advice from these successful parents because they have already raised 18-year-olds that got into Cal Poly, because I'm focused on socks that match and eating your vegetables.
Still important.
Which is probably still important when you get to come to Cal Poly. But I think the most important thing for parents is to really trust all of the teaching and love and support that they've given their sons and daughters over the past 18 years. They've done a lot of things right to make sure that they're here at this place. And that doesn't need to change. So just continue to provide that love and support.
Awesome. So all of you are coming to school in a few short weeks. Our big event coming up is WOW, our Week of Welcome program. Do you have any advice for any students that are participating in WOW?
WOW is incredible.
Yeah.
What I would say to students is you absolutely have to come ready to engage in it, to participate in everything as deeply as you possibly can. Don't get involved in anything else. Commit to that WOW group. It is the most amazing experience, and you never know, at graduation in 4 or 5 years, I may say mount your Mustang, and you will know what that means. They know what that means.
Yeah.
You'll find out.
Well, after WOW is obviously this really great time to make connections, meet people, but can you give any advice to new students what they should do for those first kind of 2 weeks after WOW ends, right as school's starting? What should they be doing?
Sure. Well, I think, students need to first focus on their classes. Quarter system is pretty fast-paced, and so it's very different than high school, and so make sure that they know everything that's expected of them in the classroom. Also, don't try to jump into everything at once. Cal Poly's a big place. There's lots to do. You've got 4 or 5 years to get it all done. You don't have to go crazy and try everything in the first couple weeks, but start to check out clubs and organizations outside the classroom, clubs and organizations in your college, just so that you can start to build some of those relationships. Everybody's living in the residence halls, which is awesome, so another big thing is to just make sure you're making really good friends with all the people that live around you.
Absolutely. So you mentioned there's a lot of clubs, organizations, classes, a lot of new things. What are some of the services on campus that students should absolutely know about?
Oh, well, there's too much to absolutely know about. Too much. But I would say our students should get acquainted with a few things. First, I would say would be our Center for Leadership and Service. Okay. That is the area of campus that provides leadership programs, community service opportunities, fraternity and sorority programs, great points of opportunity. ASI connects students with all the different clubs and organizations that are on campus. I think that students should also know about the Rec Center, which is absolutely one of the most top-tier rec centers in the country. We are so proud of it. And I think they should also, because they're Cal Poly students and our students are so motivated and smart, should probably make sure that sometime early in that first quarter, they're making their way to the Student Services building and meeting their career counselor that's assigned to their college.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we've talked about a lot that you can get involved in, a lot that you should know about. What advice can you give to a student who maybe is feeling a bit overwhelmed with all of this new stuff?
Okay, so everybody is overwhelmed, and no one is willing to admit it. You go on Facebook, if you still go on Facebook. You go on Instagram, all of your friends at other colleges and universities look like they're having a much better time. Everybody's a little bit overwhelmed all around the country. And so my advice is to take it slow. Not try to do everything all at once. Start with doing some of the things that are most important. Focus on those classes. Make sure that you know what your professors expect of you. Make a few friends. You don't have to be, leading the club or organization by the end of week 3.
Definitely take your time, ease into it. You'll have so much fun. Don't worry about that.
And that first year can go by so quickly.
It's really fast.
Yeah, make sure you kind of sit there and take it all in.
Absolutely. Please do. So how would you advise a student to on ways to get involved on campus, I guess?
Well, so I would tell a student to think about picking 1 or 2 things. There's over 300 clubs. There's involvement in the residence halls. Pick 1 or 2 things that you think are of interest to you. They don't have to have anything to do with your major. They can be have nothing to do with anything except a release. You can go find friends to go paddleboarding with in Morro Bay or something. Pick one or two things so that your life is not just the classroom. You were more than that in high school, and that's part of what made you successful in high school, and so you need to keep that going while you're in college.
Well, Student Affairs isn't just for our incoming first-year students, it's for everyone, all students. So do you have any wise words of wisdom for all students here at Cal Poly?
Wow, wise words of wisdom for all students. I would say always continue to play to your strengths. For new students, so you've done a lot of things the first 18 years of your life that have worked really well for you, and you've been admitted to this fantastic institution. Your strengths helped you get there. Our current students are finding out how their strengths help them be successful in this environment, and so always play to your strengths, be true to yourself, and be open to new experiences. That's what coming to college is all about.
Awesome, Rangers. Before we get to our last question, oh no, we're already almost done with this. I just want to kind of go off what we had just talked about with Keith. How he was saying it's okay to feel overwhelmed. It's a new environment, totally new. I definitely was very stressed out my first year, and I got involved in an extracurricular with one of my favorite hobbies, which was singing. I found an a cappella group on campus, and just going to that every couple times a week, it really helped me kind of like, take a deep breath, relax, realize I'm going to do just fine. It's a new environment, but everything is going to be great in the end. So you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. But definitely get yourself out there. Please feel free to get yourself out there. Again, go to ASI, all of that. Find them. They'll help point you in the right direction. Do you want to do the last question? I'm going to do it.
I don't know. It's the most important question that we asked. Yeah, we drum roll. If you had 24 hours left in San Luis Obispo, do you want to finish the question?
What would you do?
Wow. What would I do? Okay, 24 hours left in San Luis Obispo?
Yeah. Yeah, short amount of time.
So I'm going to invite everybody to the stadium.
Okay.
We're going to be serving all sorts of sushi from Goshi, which is one of my most favorite restaurants in town. I'm going to come into the stadium from a helicopter. I'm going to lower myself down via helicopter. I'm going to get out of the helicopter with Madonna, who is my absolute favorite. I know no one your age knows who she is, but she's my absolute favorite, and she is going to put on the most amazing concert of your life.
I'd go. Yeah.
I'm there.
That's what I do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really epic.
And maybe Firestone, right? Because everybody has to go to Firestone.
Go shoot Firestone.
Wow.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so happy that we got to talk to you. And I guess we'll throw it back to ourselves in the studio.
Back to you, Liz and John.
Welcome back. I hope you take that really great advice from Keith. Get involved in a few things while you're here and really make the most of your time.
Truly outstanding field reporters, I must say so.
Yeah, they're great. So we have an awesome question from Simon. He's asking us, how long does it take to get to Costco on the bus? And Simon, that is incredibly important information. And I would say it takes about 30 minutes.
Probably 30 minutes.
Probably, yeah. And same bus that goes to Target and to really huge Forever 21. So it's a pretty good bus.
Go clothes shopping too, About 30 minutes.
Yeah. And I guess we should answer our own question. If we had 24 hours left in San Luis Obispo, what would we do?
Nose goes in first.
Okay. Well, just like many of our guests have said, I would need it to be on Thursday night. I love farmers market. It's my favorite thing, and waiting in the McClintock's line is always worth it. That's what I've learned from my time here. Very good. But other than that, there's way too much to do to fit it all in one day. I'd probably go to Boo Boo Records. That's a really cool record store that we have in town, and I absolutely love going there, hanging out, just looking through the vinyl. And I'd probably go to Phoenix Books, which is a used bookstore right next door, because it smells delicious in there. It smells like books. And I would definitely also have to go to the beach and catch the sunset, because that's great. Maybe go to Avila, swing on the swings right around there. So that would be my last 24 hours, I think. What about you?
That sounds absolutely awesome. I would wake up early and go for a run, a jog on Pismo Beach because I love being outside and I love the beach. So I would go run along the beach and go explore. After that, I would probably be very hungry. So I would go downtown and I would look for a restaurant that I have not eaten food at yet. I don't really know what that is, but I would just say, hey, I have not eaten there, so I'm gonna go there and try it because everything here is delicious. And then at some point, I would probably go pick a random hike that I also have not done yet because I have been here for almost 4 years now. I should have done all the hikes I wanted to do. And while I'm up there, I would like to catch the sunset because I am very cliche like that. I love sunsets. They are very pretty. And then hiking down in the dark is, yes, it is very hard. So be careful. I'll bring a flashlight, stuff like that. And at some point, I will have a barbecue. Let's do that. I like to invite my friends over for a barbecue. That sounds fun. So,
that sounds awesome.
Something like that.
Yeah. Well, we've had a fantastic season, and we just wanted to say thank you to all the people that have made this possible. First, we are in the beautiful University Art Gallery right now, and it's a great place to check out when you're here on campus. So if you have a few free moments when you get here, it'd be an awesome place to come see some art. So yeah, thank you to the University Art Gallery for letting us use your wonderful space.
I'd like to also give props to the entire PolyLife crew. It is not just us two. There's a whole lot of people in this room right now actually behind the computer screens, making everything work, making it operate. So I'm just gonna name them all off or something like that. Like, what's up, Jack, John, Rob, who's not here? Sam, Hannah, Will, Leo here moderating, Brandon, Jason, and Brendan. Thank you very much. Did I miss anybody or no?
You did a good job.
Okay, cool.
And
awesome.
Also, we'd like to thank our moderators who volunteered throughout the season to help answer your questions, the ones that you used in the chat bar. So that's awesome.
And then also our guests. Thank you so much for being on the show, our lovely guests that were here today. We had a lot of very awesome guests from every single, I guess all the aspects of campus. We're here to help you kind of talk about what they have for you on campus next year. So thank you to all of our guests.
And finally, thank you to all of our amazing viewers, whether you watch live or on YouTube. We really have enjoyed doing the show, and we wouldn't do it without people watching. So thank you so much. I'm going to give up my seat to the most entertaining person we have on the show here, our king of acoustics, Jack. So he can come serenade you.
Yay.
Oh baby, baby, how was I supposed to know, yeah, that something wasn't right, yeah. Oh baby, baby, I shouldn't have let you go. And now you're out of sight, yeah. Show me how you want it to be. Tell me, baby, 'cause I need to know now. Oh, because my loneliness is killing me, oh, and I must confess, I still believe, when I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign, hit me, baby, one more time.
Thank you very much. Have a good one. Jeez.